So, Doctor, let's talk about business pitfalls, which is something you wrote in your book too, Business Strategy Manuals. And talking about business management pitfalls, you explained that an employee's competence is better than loyalty, and that a loyal employee without the required competence spells doom for the business. All right. So, please, can you help us dig deeper into this concept?
Okay, what I will say here is like loyalty can be faked. In an environment
Mm,
that we know that there are a lot of eye services, there are a lot of sacrifices. Somebody can, you know, claim pretend to be loyal. I mean, especially to your face, and when you turn your back, you see that there's no loyalty in that. Many of us who have run business, when we distance ourselves a bit from the business, we discover that those we thought were loyal were not actually loyal. They were doing nice service. This is also a product of
mm,
experience which I've gained over the time. But you cannot fake competence. If you don't know, you don't know. If you don't know how to
mm,
do, you don't know how to do. Also, there is this tendency sometimes, most people that are competent and they are conscious of their competence, there is this tendency in them to be, they are usually perceived to be arrogant. Sometimes they are arrogant. And because
mm,
of that, people, business owner, they don't want to deal with them with so much. I recall an event, a training that I conducted where in Nigeria. I asked this simple question: if your most competent person is arrogant, what will you do to him or her? Somebody just said in the hall, I will fire him or her. Oh, really? When you fire your most competent employee, you are losing actually. You are not gaining anything. Because
mm,
now a lawyer staff that is not competent, let's say in the manufacturing, will damage your product, will waste your input because it's not competent. So you will secure more money. The person is saying yes and yes, man, but then he's making you to incur more cost because he doesn't know, he or she does not know what to do. So I think I
mm,
would rather pray that every competent staff is also loyal. When you have a competent staff that is loyal, oh, that is a double advantage, even not triple advantage. And the truth is that they are very rare breed of competent people that are loyal. Sometimes they are not being loyal. It's not because they are arrogant. It's because they are not treated very well. Because some of them they ask
mm,
questions, query, they try to challenge. I mean, in quotes, challenge the owners that okay, why can't we do this differently? Some business owners who love to be worshipped, they don't like that, and because of that, they don't treat this competent employee very well, and because of that, the guy doesn't think he or she owes the employer any loyalty. I'm here to make my money.
mm.
If you give me a platform, I do it. So I think sometimes it is the kind of relationship between the business owner and the guys, those that are obviously competent, do not give room for the competent guy to be loyal because he or she is not treated very well. I think that's an area that a business owner should look into. Those who worship you, those who venerate you, but they don't know what they are doing, they are dangerous to your business than you can ever imagine.
Okay, so let's go down deeper. Okay, I'm thinking now for a small and medium-sized business, I'm thinking that the number of employee may not be, let's say, 10. Let's assume that the average that a small or medium-sized business can employ is 10. Uh, when it comes to competence, yes, what are the parameters for competence? Let's say, for example, a a poultry farmer, for example, who is hoping to employ additional competent hands, what would be the measuring scale to determine the true competence of anyone that is to be employed?
Yeah, one of the criteria of competence, like somebody who knows what to do without necessarily being told when or how to do it. Somebody that requires less supervision. Somebody that is initiative. Somebody that can take initiative. That oh, you don't. I'm not
Mm,
waiting for the instruction from the business owner before I need to do this. You know the time to feed the broiler and other, the time what to do, the quantity of mix. I mean, this somebody who can work independently. without necessarily waiting for order from above. So this is a kind of incompetence. And somebody also, when he notice there are some abnormally, in the organization, what is able to quickly alert the business owner, look, this is my observation. I mean, what do you think about it? How do we resolve this? So that those are all the mark of competence, not somebody that is saying yes, ma, yes, sir, or greeting you, how is daddy, how are my brother, how are my younger ones, how am I this? We use greeting sometimes to cover up our incompetence a lot of the time. Or somebody that is very quick to carry madam's bag to walk her into her car to open up all those things. I mean, we enjoy all these gestures, but then when this thing interfere with our ability to render the service which we are engaged for, then there's a problem there. So a competent hand will give you rest of mind. A competent hand will take initiative by itself, by himself or herself. A competent hand will know what to do, when to do, and how to do it. A competent hand will draw your attention when things are not going the way it should go.
Thank you very much for that one. And one thing about this book, Business Strategy Manual, is that there's a whole lot of wisdom packed in there, and where it's such a pleasure to be able to break it down one after the other. Let's move away from competence now. Let's now bring this home a little bit. Let's look at inflation in Nigeria. Just yesterday, it was announced that Nigeria's inflation is now 31%, about 31.04% Nigeria's inflation rate. And when as a Nigerian, when you hear that, you'll be like, what's happening? So when we look at Nigeria's inflation rate, especially now that it has jumped up again, it has jumped up again. What would be your advice to small and medium scale enterprises who have to deal with volatile price changes? Because now that inflation rate is now 31%, all the way from 29.9%, there's a whole lot that will change. So what will your advice, and what's the approach in doing business when you have to deal with volatile price changes?
Yes, I also look at that statistics, and even I think the sad aspect of it, the food aspect of that inflation is about 37%. And when I look around down the statistics, I think it was in 1996 that we were having about 48% inflation. We survived it, and we're here today. One of the things that affect food inflation, especially, is the scarcity of food somehow because of the insecurity. A lot of farmers cannot go to farm because of the herders conflicts. Even there's stealing on the farm. I had somebody that told me that they got into to his farm in the morning, planting maize or what we call. Discovered that half of the feed has been harvested. All this kind of issue put pressure on the available food. Then again, like I said, the issue of transport costs, transportation has gone haywire. And one of the problems with transportation because they have a group influence. Whenever the transport organization or union they want to increase price, they just sit down, decide arbitrarily on percentage to increase. Like most of the time, they double the price. If you add 10 naira, or 10% to pump price of petroleum today, you wake up tomorrow, transport price will have been increased by 100%. And this thing has been happening over and over again. But today, conversely, if you reduce the price of petroleum products by half today, tomorrow it will take over a month for transport to come down, if it will ever come down. So there are things that we do to ourselves beyond the government, but the government has to have a way of regulating this thing. Maybe before they increase petroleum products next time, it may be better, or approach to call the transport union and tell, okay, we are increasing pump price, but we will not give you more than 15, 10, 20% increment. Any increment more than so percentage will not be acceptable. So if we do that, we may be saved with the level of arbitrariness that we see now. Now, with this inflation going on, this is where you prioritize a lot of things. you know, scale of preference that we learn in basic economics have to come in. There are those things that are very essential. There are those things that you cannot do without. Even like food, for instance. But even food, within food, you have to find a way to say, okay, to look for alternatives. Mean, like we say, if you don't have money for custard, why not drink akamu? Why not make your own ogi and drink it? So there are things, of course, we know Nigeria, we have all this formula wherever we have been using over the years. Oh, 010 or 011, or all those things, they have been there with us for a long time. So we have to look for alternatives. You have to be more creative. Maybe sometimes you have to reduce the quantity of what you eat and all that. Again, it is even sad when you discover that most of these products are reducing quality and they're also reducing quantity. So what mean in those days, an Indomie pack is sufficient for a normal human being to, but today I think you may need two or three. So there are a lot of challenges there. But as these challenges are, you have to become more creative. You have to drop things that are not necessary. Even the ones that are necessary, you have to find maybe to look for a cheaper alternative, or you reduce the quantity of what you ought to eat. Maybe you drink more water. Water itself is very expensive now. So there are a lot of issues that one is not happy about, but the reality is like we have to find a way to edge against them. We have to find a way to, you know, to bring down the inflation. Then most of the inflation again is due to arbitrariness in increasing price. We just increase price anyhow. Though I will also agree that it's not all businesses that can do that, but most of them that can do it, they will do it. For instance, you are selling let's say you are selling bag of rice, and you they deliver maybe 100 bags to you, and before they were charging you 10,000. Then you wake up one morning, the transporter is collecting 20,000. This is just one input to the bag. So and this you can't, because of that you now increase the price of the selling rice. You just double the price also. I mean, yes, transportation has increased by 100%, unfortunately, but that is not the only input in selling the rice. Maybe the price of the rice where you are buying it is still the same, but all of us want to make good profit, want to cash out. So there are things that we do to ourselves also. Everybody seems to be, I wouldn't want to say greedy, but if that is also part of the problem with the inflation. Then when people hoard too, hoarding creates scarcity, and that also increase inflation. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Still on that note, because the plan is to be able to make this as practical as possible. I imagine someone who is selling Ankara materials. All right, a woman in maybe Agbeni or maybe a Leshule market, for example, who is selling Ankara materials, for example. And then these days, there's this time we use these days that the morning price is even from night price. Okay, but then this person also has to buy, let's say, fuel to switch on the generator, so that at least when customers come they can feel okay. But then the price of things are changing based on the rate of inflation. What would be the guiding light in terms of price, in terms of putting price on materials, saying that price is changing here and there, and in terms of sustaining the business?
Well, the challenges are so many. Electricity. Everybody who is selling market one at least want to live a very decent life as much as possible. You have to power your own generator. You have to do all these things. And all these things are supposed to go into the price you charge. But like I said earlier on, it gets to a limit that you can't continue to increase your price. Sometimes if the objective is
Mm.
to stay afloat, that's what we call marginal benefit, marginal gains. There are times you have to just maybe reduce your margin and say, look, it is better for me to keep getting something little by little and not getting anything. And there is this concept of velocity, which is the quantity you're able to sell. If you make, I mean, you make 10 naira in 15 place, that's like 150 naira. It's better than you are making 30 naira in only one place. So sometimes you have to find a way of selling more, though with little margin, so that you can stay afloat.
Thank you very much. And once again, for the benefit of everyone and anyone who is just joining in, once again, welcome to the live interactive session with Dr. Bolutife Dele. On this interactive session, we're talking about a business strategy for surviving today's economy. And it's been such a pleasure having Dr. Bolutife here. Please, I want to remind you that you can drop your comments in the comment box. If you have a question, please drop it in the comment section. If you also have comments or if you are passing comments, we're going to read them just before we wrap up the session. So please kindly drop your questions or your comments in the comment box as we go on this part. And it's been fun hanging out with Dr. Bolutife right here, still talking about business strategy for surviving today's economy. Of course, the perspective, everything, and the wisdom we are drawing is from the book Business Strategy Manual. Just in case anyone is wondering what we're talking about, also, this is what we're talking about right here: Business Strategy Manual, authored by Dr. Bolutife Oluwadele. Now, let's move on to. In the book, you spoke about cash flow. You also spoke. You wrote about, or you wrote to individuals on the part of personal cash flow, and you made mention of two things. That's taste and expectation. Taste and expectation. Please kindly help us, expand on this.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe let me start with the expectation first. Because in Nigeria we live a communal life, and the communal life means that you can get money from, not only from your salaries or your business. You can get money from uncles, from aunties. You can get money from church members, your mosque members. You can get money. You can even ask for them 2K on social media. People are doing giveaway and all that. When you build your budget and your cash flow around all this expectation, they're outside your control. They're outside your control because again, you don't even know what is happening to the other party. Especially for those of us in the diaspora now, a lot of burden are put on us. A lot of requests are made on us every day. So if you build your lifestyle around what is not earned by you, I mean not around your own personal income, but around what you think you can gain from other people, it could create a distortion in you. It could create a problem for you. So, and that could also trigger your taste. You know, some people, I mean, they get money free. The next thing they think is to go to a pepper soup joint to go and enjoy life. So try to be enjoying life. While I know they finish. So all this kind of thing. Well, if you are enjoying life based on your own money, fine. It's your prerogative to do that. So for your cash flow, I mean, for instance, you put your child in a school, and you know that you cannot afford that school, and every time you keep on going about soliciting for help here and there. I think this a kind of a caution that I would advise that we should take more caution about, because you should budget your expenses on based on your income, not on what you get from other people. If you get anything from other people, it become another advantage. So, and again, if you get from somebody today, there's no there's no nothing to say that you must always get from that person, because an average person that is giving you is also giving to so many other people. So that is why I caution that our people, we should don't develop a taste that you cannot finance. Don't expand your taste beyond your own capability. Therefore, depending on the outsider to help you to breed the taste. No, I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's ethical to do that. That's what I kind of thing I'm saying. That okay, if I'm going to budget my expenses, I'm going to budget it based on my income. I mean, I always advocate that your budget should be income driven and not expenses driven. And I've had a lot of experiences in that. I mean, somebody is earning 30,000 minimum, which is the minimum wage, and the person is budgeting expenses for 45,000 in a month. So, which I think is very unrealistic, which I think is unfair to himself, because if that bit is not able, the person is not able to bridge that gap, the person will have headache. The person may even develop some kind of depression because he is budgeting, um, is building an expectation on a third party, as we call it. So, cut your coat according to your cloth. Sometimes it's not even your size. So if your size you want to sew suit and the cloth can only sew what we call monkey jacket, you better sew your monkey jacket and wear it with joy. So, yeah.